Mm. Oh my God. All right. So I spoke this morning about, and I'm looking outside because I'm having an inside and I don't want to fucking confuse myself. I spoke this morning about the whole situation of what you are, right? You are a program that interprets according to two rules which make you an application. You have input, processing, and output. And the input is the output of the last process, combined with the external. But it's all bullshit, so it doesn't matter. As in, you will pick up whatever you want to pick up, because your output is kind of already decided before there's input. Because the processing, on the one hand, it happens between the input and the output, but it also happens between the output and the input, meaning you're a biased motherfucker. You are bias. And bias is just self-conforming logic. That's what it is. That is what you are. You are your lens, and everything you see will confirm the lens. Okay? So let me try and explain it a little different than what I did this morning, because this morning I was talking about running and layering. All right. The situation that is going on is that you are a program. You have been programmed, okay? And this program has input. It cannot help it. The moment you wake up, this is already going on. Right? It starts before you start. Or so it seems. Maybe you started, but either way, it happens. Now this creates a weird situation. Because you wake up to something that seems to be going on, even though it's you doing it. And so you're being done, but that feels very uncomfortable, especially if you're waking up for the first time, or when you're asleep and you're waking up, it feels uncomfortable. Because sleep is the lack of any friction, any sense, right? You're senseless. Which is comfortable, because you don't notice. So waking up is discomfort. Everything is discomfort, but that's also comfort. Alright, so you're waking up. The moment you wake up, you realize something's going on, right? And then when I say you realize, you might as well interpret it as you are the one who realizes it. You're the god of your own world. You're the devil of your own experience. It's all good. So you wake up and you realize something is going on. Now we have a game. Because what happens is the statement that something is going on is the first judgment, right? I'm not saying it, but I'm saying like the awareness of something going on is the judgment. Because if something is going on, that is because it is noticed. Something is aware of it. So something is outside of that something in a way. Do you understand? You could say he's in the middle of it, that's fine too. But the thing is that there's separation. Because that's what judgment is, separation and labeling. So the moment you wake up, you judge there to be something going on. You separate things, label them, and that labeling can come later. You can forget the labeling for now. It's just that the biggest thing that's going on is that you see something's going on and you identify with only part of it. Okay, maybe that's a better way to say it. So I wake up and I see that there's stuff. Maybe it's moving, maybe it's not. It doesn't really matter. Okay? There's stuff. And I realize that just before I opened my eyes, there was no stuff. So something's going on. Now, a child or a baby, I don't know, I don't fucking remember, doesn't notice this. right? So it wakes up. I mean, I'm just repeating nonsense that scientists told, and it's all bullshit, so they're full of shit. Anyway, but whatever, it's a dream, so let's pretend it's real. So the baby doesn't have this, right? It's like an animal. It's one with its surroundings. It doesn't add any interpretation or meaning or whatever. It just sees and is. It's one thing. The seeing is the isness. It's like if you take shrooms. You have that feeling where your thoughts seem to pour outside and everyone can hear them, and the outside seems to pour inside and it's just confusing as hell. That's what it is. And because there's still some awareness, because you're tripping, you're in the car, you're experiencing the trip. It's different than normal. Because this is going on, it's confusing. Because if it was completely going on, it wasn't confusing at all. Because then there would be nothing going on. You are the one that realizes something's going on, and that realization is the separation, the primal separator. It starts the whole fucking game. And of course you tell yourself, I didn't start the game was already going on. I was entering the game. Fine. Tell yourself what you like. I do the same. I also tell myself what I don't like, and maybe that's the difference, but I don't know, we'll get to that. Alright, so you wake up and something's going on. Now you have a problem. Because if there's something going on, and there are things outside of you, apparently, because you're the one seeing what's going on and you're in a room and you can leave the room, so the room isn't in you, you are in the room, apparently. So if you can leave the room, then the room is something outside of you. And if there's someone in that room and you leave the room, then you're also not that person apparently, because he's in the other room. He's not in you, he's in that room. And you are in that room and you left the room, so the person is gone, right? Right. That's the illusion. But it doesn't matter, we'll get to that. If I can just say it easy. Alright. And don't worry about understanding this or accepting this, because you're not going to be able to accept this. Because if you accept this, you will destroy yourself. And you're not at that point yet. It takes time to get there, and it's fine. I'm just puking crazy, okay? That's what I'm doing. And don't take it personal, don't take it functional, don't fucking... It's just entertainment, alright? Until it's not, and then you see it is. It doesn't matter. You're in a room, you see other things, you see other people, and you start to get this idea that perhaps they are separate from you. So now you have you and not you, right? And this is very confusing. Because if there's you and there's not you, what does that mean? What is... Right? So you see what's going on, and then you start wondering why it is going on. And the next step is how will you deal with it? Right? So it's what, why, how. It's not how, why, how. It's not start with why, it's start with what. If you want to start anywhere. Starting anywhere is fucking bullshit. Start with why is total bullshit. And starting with what is, I don't know, it's still fucking bullshit, but it makes more sense. It's not self-deluded as much as start with why. Which Simon is a man. He's a man. No, he helped me greatly, or hurt me. We'll get to that someday too. So he was the inspiration. So thank you. Fuck you. Alright. So you see something's going on. What's going on? Well, what's going on is that I'm here and there's something else here and it's not me. Okay, well, why is that going on? What does it mean? Well, what it means is that apparently I have a problem. Because if there's something going on and there's me and there's not me, then me is at risk. Because I know me and I don't fucking understand one single bit of what I am. So I'm scared just for being me. But not me is a lot scarier still because I don't even know what the fuck he's doing. Right? He is fucking scary as fuck. I'm a scary motherfucker. But this guy is a monster. He can end me. Right? Because if I turn into him, then who the fuck am I? So just the observation of the other, and let's get it straight, right? There is no starting this game. You wake up in the middle of it in the sense that you've been programmed by birth or by culture or by yourself. I don't fucking know. It doesn't fucking matter. It's just, this is what's going on. There's nothing you can do. Okay? Don't fucking pretend you can fucking step out and meditate. You guys are fucking insane. It's fine. I'm crazy. It's fine. We'll get to that. Fuck this shit. Alright. something's going on. There's not you. This is a problem. Because if there's not you, what does that mean? And how should you deal with it? Well, you deal with it with two rules, two waves, right? There's the wave of what I call running, validation, checking, whatever you want to call it. And there's the wave of expansion, right? It's the wave of layering. Or change. It's change. So there is and there's change. And is and change is being. Okay? You are and you change. I don't know if this makes sense. It doesn't make sense to me, so how the fuck can I explain it to make sense to you? Alright, so this is what's going on. Let's make it like this, so we don't pretend like it's a... By the way, this is, for someone who knows about my models, this is, like I make the meta flow model like this, and then I came to the realization it was like this, because there's a what, why, how, and there's a what, why, how here, and I'm confusing the fuck out of you, so I shouldn't do that, but it doesn't fucking matter. It's a DNA strand, it's a DNA, it's all the fucking same. It's because you're electromagnetic, okay? This is just electricity and magnets, okay? I don't know anything about science or nature, and I'm just making this shit up as I go. I'm making it up as I go. Judge me. Make me not you. Make me a big time of not you, because otherwise, what the fuck you gonna do? If you understand the murderer, you are the murderer. If you understand the crazy person, well, I think you catch my drift. You get the point. I don't know. Do you? Do you get the point? Do you catch the drift? Well, you may catch it, but you have to release it. You see, this is crazy talk. Thank you. All right. There's two rules. Two lines of code in your program. And these two lines define your interpreter. So they are the bias through which you experience everything. And bias is something you add while it's going on, but it's also something you add after it's done, right? Because it needs to be validated. But I'm going too fast. Slow down. All right. You have two rules. The first rule is the checking of existence. Okay, so the I think therefore I am, right? Which is the confirmation. It's the validation of the first question. Because you have no clue what's going on, but you can ask yourself, do I exist? And the answer, although not as clearly articulated when you're just waking up, is, well, apparently yes, because I can ask the questions. Right? I can ask myself, do I exist? And by asking the question, I confirm that I do. And that's the first confusion. Right? So these are code rules to confuse you, because you are the confusion. And also the diffusion, how do you call this? But we don't like that, so we'll get to that. Right? So the first thing you do is ask yourself, do I exist? The answer is yes, because it's a bias, so the answer is always going to be yes, eventually. If you're small enough, the answer is yes. And so with that yes, the expansion starts, or the build-up. This is very tricky because it's so dualistic and so multidimensional. It's very difficult to explain it because it's very difficult to grasp it, because I don't think you can. I think you can come close, but only to realize it's beyond you. It's like whoever created you, which is probably yourself, you programmed yourself to be an application, to be a program, to be an application, whatever. It just left out some dimensions. So there was experience possible, because the original source didn't have it. It had to create something to be a source. Just the source is nothing. If you create everything, you are now the source of everything, which is nothing. Alright, so I'm going to confuse myself here, I'm going to confuse you, I'm sorry, I can't help it. And maybe I can, but I'm trying. So let's call this wave the expansion wave, or the layer wave. Although in my feeling, and this morning I started with the running wave, but I feel like it's not true. I feel like the moment you validate yourself for the first time, you are the smallest you will be. So you could say that this expansion is the idea of you. And we started with the story where you start expanding, because at this point you said, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Right? That's what you said. You said, yes, I am. And this is always both going on. It's fractal, right? So this shape will be, right? If this is an overarching arch, you could say that it's like this as well. And in that is, right? And it's like there's all kinds of waves, and it's all kind of confusing things. It's like you are the cloud in your judgment, and the cloud can be thick, it can be thin, it can be moving, it can be, it's opaque, it's not, it's just craziness. Craziness. Alright, let me try to explain this like I understand it, which I don't, so forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. But you are running, right? You're going through, the first rule is you will go through the rules. And the rules are, do that and expand on that, right? So validate your existence, and if that is so, try to be more. That's really what it is. And the reason I put it as expansion here and then validation there is that, hopefully I will explain it more clearly, but if you expand yourself, it becomes harder to validate yourself, because the basis becomes thinner. It becomes larger but thinner. So you're spreading yourself out. So the smoke is the same amount, but instead of being one small dot of certainty, it becomes a field of transparent smoke-like thing that it seems real, but it's flaky. So you wake up. You start running. The first confirmation, the first question is, do I exist? And the answer is, well, apparently, yes, you do. The expansion is the arrogance, the validation is the frustration. These are the only two emotions. You can call them fear and hope. Validation is the fear, expansion is the hope. The validation is the fear you're not there, and the acknowledgement that you are. And the expansion is the hope that you can be more, and the validation and invalidation that is exactly what's going on or not. So the first question is, do I exist? The answer is yes. Right? And frustration is boredom, and arrogance is glorification. I hope someone's writing this down, because it's crazy. Okay? It's fucking crazy. Alright. So something's going on. You ask yourself if you are something, and the answer is yes. That makes you feel good. You're like, okay, whew, okay, I got this. There's something else going on. We'll deal with that, but at least I exist. Right? But you're a loop, right? It's like you're a feedback loop, right? My story last year with the start with what I wanted to write was, you got to start with what you are, and what you are is a feedback loop. You're sending out a question and you're receiving an answer, and that just loops the whole fucking time. You can't stop it, and you gotta accept that, because you think you can stop it or you can make it a flat line. Yeah, that's death, right? The constant state is not existing. Alright. So you're running and you're validating that you're existing. Well, that's great. At first it might be a little unbelievable, so you ask yourself again, do I exist? And the answer is yes, I can think this, so I exist. Alright, but do I really exist? Well, yes, yeah, you exist, dude. I told you. Alright. So you're saying I exist? Yes, I'm saying you exist. So I actually exist. Yes, you fucking exist. Can you drop it? You exist. I told you, you fucking exist, right? Frustration and arrogance playing with each other. First the frustration, dude, I told you, you exist. And then it turns into arrogance. From the build-up, it becomes the breakdown. Because the frustration is building you up. It's tension. You're at tension. You're giving your attention to yourself. And the more attention you give yourself, the realer it becomes. And the moment it becomes so real, you feel like you're entitled to yourself, you get bored. I exist. Yes. Is that all there is? I don't know. What are you saying? Well, I'm just wondering, is there more? Is there more? Hey, we got the second rule going, people. Expansion, layering. Is there more? Well, why not? We start with hope before we get to real arrogance. There could be. Why couldn't there be? Right? Well, I don't know. I mean, I am. I know that. I've been here for a long time now. I've asked myself many times if I was, and every time I was. So I'm expecting I'll be here again. Fuck it, I'll be here all day. I'll be here all life. Do you see what I'm saying? You're getting entitled. You're saying, I don't have to wonder if I am. I'm fucking here. All right? People fucking deal with me. I got space. I'm taking up space. I'm taking up time. Well, not yet. Time is the arrogance. Space is the frustration. So I'm here and I'm certain of it. So I get bored because, well, I'm here. What's there to do? Just being here. Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm here. Wow, big deal. If that's all there is, why am I even here, right? We've confirmed the what. Now the why starts itching. Why am I even here? Well, because there's things to do. There's things to experience. There's things to be. Look at him. Look at him talking. I don't know what's going on with him, and I can confirm his whatness, but the way he talks, apparently he's more than me. Because he's saying he's done all kinds of shit. He's saying he knows all kinds of shit. And I don't know anything. I know I exist. That's the first question I asked and got confirmed, and then I got bored. So if he knows something, then I want to know that too, because if he can be more, then I can be more. So we start expanding, which is the start of the breakdown, right? The birth is the start of the death. The moment you say, I can be more, you're going to let yourself break. You're going to release all that what you're about to build up. So you come into the place where you start expanding. And you start saying, there are things to know and I can know them. And when I know them, I know something. And now I'm not just a thing existing, I'm a thing existing knowing something. And you don't really know anything, it's just a feeling. You improvise yourself into being every time you think about it. But you don't know it. You think you have memories. You think, no, I learned something. I fucking studied that. Well, you already know it. You learned to get out of the way. But I'm going too fast, I'm sorry. You see, if you, just as an aside, if you were to accept that the machine has everything inside of it, all knowledge, all skill, and you are the obstruction, then you maybe can get an inclination of what it means to study, right? It's studying is pain, and the pain causes you to avoid it. It doesn't teach you anything, it hurts you. And the hurt doesn't make you pay attention in a better way next time, it makes you pay less attention the next time. Because you don't want to feel the hurt. And by getting out of the way, the body can do it, because the body can do it anyway. It's not you teaching the body, it's the body teaching you to get the fuck out the way. But anyway, that's another story. Because these are all stories, right? It's all fucking bullshit. This, whatever I'm saying, it's fucking bullshit from start to finish. Don't believe a word of it. It's crazy. I'm sorry. It's the most truthful I can be, but it's a lie. The body feels the truth. The mind speaks the lie. And the body feels that it's true, right? It's the output and the input. I think I'm right. Oh, I feel right. It's the truth. Well, but what about this? Well, let me think about it. Oh, I create a problem. I solved the problem. That feels good. I understand. What else can I understand? Well, we need to find something I don't understand and then we can integrate it. That's what's going on. This is the expansion, you understand? If you confirm yourself to be, then you're going to look for other things to add. So you're going to tell yourself, I'm a smart man. So give me problems so I can experience my smartness. Give me something to sink my teeth in so I can consume it and then produce it again, right? How do you call this? You assimilate. Resistance is futile. Well, Resistance is the assimilation. And the assimilation is resistance, and it's futile, but it's also meaningful. It's the opposite of futile. I don't know what that is. Right? Input or potential, interpretation or meaning, output or actual. That is the thing, right? Here there is input. This is a medium. Okay, so you're a medium. This is the law of media. Here there is interpret or bias, which is meaning or logic. It doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. And in the end there is the output. And the output is the input. But here there's also this. The interpret bias meaning. Because if you don't do it here, you do it here. So you try to add meaning before you do it. You tell yourself there's a reason you do something. But after you've done it, you have to make it fit. You have to validate it even if it's invalid. So you will select. Alright? Alright. Yeah, alright. Like it's alright. Like, yeah, sure, I get what you mean. Continue. Destroy me. It makes sense. I make no sense. I'm just some sort of illogical being that all it can do is confirm itself and then deny itself. That's just fucking great, man. That sounds like we're going to have a great time here. Alright. We're in the part where we're expanding. And we do the expansion through validation. So the build-up is the constant validation of something. Now, in this overarching arch, you can find things that don't validate. And that's okay, right? You can say, I'm really great, I know everything. And then something happens that says, well, no, it's not true. And then you're like, well, this is because of this. You justify, right? This is giving meaning. This is justification. I don't know if there's another word for it. I don't know. But you can say this is injustifying, right? I don't know. Which is like saying, I can do this because I'm different. And the justification is, well, I did this because of this. So it's the forward explaining and the afterward explaining. It's the projection and the reflection. I don't know if it makes sense. Because it certainly doesn't make sense. Because it cannot make sense. It's senseless, and so it's sense. Because in this whole thing, and why it's so difficult to explain, is that it's dualistic. It is two-natured, right? Last year I explained it through the God animal. Right? You're the animal that wants to survive, and you're the God that wants to reproduce. And they both want both, but it's like the overarching, right? The body is the female, the mind is the male. And it doesn't mean all bodies are female, it's just that they are emphasized from the female point. And the female is the connector, and the male is the judger, right? The mind judges, it tears apart, it labels. The body connects, right? It wants to fuck, it wants to feel, it wants to touch. The mind wants to destroy, it wants to disconnect, it wants to... And I'm not saying women are better than men, I'm saying they're both part of the same thing. They are one thing. But there isn't one thing, there's two things, so this creates the problem. It's 0, 1, 2. Nothing plus infinity equals 2. That's dualism. Like this makes any sense at all. Whatever, go fuck yourself. Well, sir, actually... No, fuck you. We were building ourselves up, right? So we were adding to ourselves. We are saying, okay, and we can take a hit here and there as long as the hit is not too big. Because if it does, and that means we're over here, what is happening is that we've built ourselves up to huge proportions. And we use perspective to make logic even though it's not. So we use victimhood, we use other people, right? We have all these techniques, zooming in, zooming out, right? We pretend to look at a map, well, we just make up the map and say, well, I zoomed in on this level because of this reason, so this is why I see this. So we can disconnect and connect whenever we want. We don't think ABC in our brains, and then when we're at C, we're going to look back, say, yeah, well, AB, yeah, that makes sense, man. And then we go, no, it's just C is there, and you feel AB. Like, yeah, I see it, I see AB. And when you start talking, eventually, if you talk enough and you think enough, it doesn't add up because there's no basis. But fuck it, we'll get to that. Maybe, I don't know. Alright, so you're expanding. But there's a limit to your expansion. Because it becomes unbelievable for yourself. And one of the big reasons there is that there is the other, right? I'm building myself up. I'm telling myself I'm special. But I'm not outwardly changing, so I'm telling myself, right, we like to talk about growth in this world, right? The expansion. The growth mindset is fucking bullshit. I'm sorry, it's fucking bullshit. It's fine, you can use it, but it's fucking bullshit. And it's one-sided and it will get you into trouble. I'm telling you, right now. Saying you're anti-fragile is just so fucking one-sided. I'm sorry. If you say that, you do not know what you're talking about. You make a good point in a world where everything is fragile, but it's fucking ridiculous. Everything is bullshit. Every book is bullshit. I'm serious. Books are poisonous. Especially those that tell the most. This video is fucking bullshit. It's poison. Except I would say, and it's just a judgment, so it's bullshit, but all books are bullshit except those that seek to destroy you. Because you're reading a book for the build-up. You're gaining knowledge. Oh, look at me, I'm getting so smart. I'm reading the book. Now he knows, but I know, because I'm the only one who's reading this book. Because I see you walking, but you're just a guy. You're just a fucking guy. You got some clothes on. You bought some clothes. Good for you, man. You're driving a car. Well, aren't you fucking whoop-de-doo? But inside here and in my feelings, there's truth, man. I don't see anything inside of you. You're just a fucking plain, flat character in my fucking show of aggrandizement or some shit. So there is a basis for me to feel special because I feel special. And I don't feel you. And you're not keeping it real. Because when I did this and the other thing, this and that and the other thing happened, and look at me, I'm fucking awesome. Right? They don't know what the fuck they're doing at my work, and if anything good happens, it's because I do it. Right? You're a narcissist. This validation is narcissism, so to say. Right? And the funny thing is, I think the confusion starts, let me make a side path here for real quick. The confusion starts, Neil Postman, God rest his soul or whatever they fucking do with that shit after it's done. I think he wrote it in his book. He was the one who showed me that we talk about narcissism, about people are so obsessed and fucking, right? But he said narcissism is like the myth is about the guy falling off the horse, looking in the pond or the fucking puddle of water on the ground, having himself reflected back to him and being like mesmerized, right? But not because he saw it was himself, because there were no mirrors. He didn't even know what he was seeing. He was just mesmerized by what he saw. And that is the nature of you. You are a feedback loop that is mesmerized by itself. Mesmerized. Do you understand? You're a fucking, what is it called? When the heat is shaking above the ground. That's what you are, a mirage. You're a mirage. And you make yourself because you're making a lot of fucking movement. So you're mesmerized by yourself. You mesmerize yourself, and you are mesmerized, and you are the mesmerization. Is that a word? That's the thing, the input, the process, and the output. The input, the meaning, and the product, which is the product for the next cycle. You're all of it. And so narcissism is what we are. It's just when it becomes grotesque, which happens if you start talking about conceptual reality, where there's these crazy loops that allow for complete disconnect with reality. If you just tell yourself enough bullshit, you will fucking believe it. It's what the program does. So that's why we say, oh, he's a narcissist. But we're all narcissists. There's nothing else but narcissism. It's not bad. It's just the function of the machine. You're a dream machine. You're having a dream. Every time you wake up, you start dreaming. Right? If the fucking neuroscientist or whatever they call it would stop taking as a starting point that we're awake and then do the research, and take as a starting point that we're asleep and then do the research, I'm pretty sure it would make a lot more sense. Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter because it's all fucking bullshit. Neuroscience is fucking bullshit. Your brain's fucking bullshit. They will never know. They will never know if the brain causes it or if what the brain does is caused by it. And it's both. So go fuck yourself. So I should put it the other way around, I guess. I don't know, but that's why I'm so confused, right? You start with the expansion. If you are nothing and you confirm yourself to be, that's the startup of the build-up. So it's so weird. It should be like this, but it's like I can't get my head around it. Okay, I don't know. I'm telling you something, and maybe you think I know. I don't fucking know anything. This blows me up. Okay, I'm taking my hands off this motherfucker. Okay, I don't fucking know. You are a mindfuck. The biggest mindfuck ever for you. You are the mind, you are the fucking, and you are the fucked. Okay? You're dreaming, you're a dreamer, and you're the dreamed. It's crazy. You're 0, 1, 2. Nothing, everything, dualism. You're the source, the creator, and the creation. I'm going to stop now because it's fucking crazy. Alright, fuck. I'm saying a lot of fucks because it's a trick, okay? I'm tricking myself into releasing myself. Right? If I don't call myself a bullshitter, I might start to believe this shit, and then we have serious trouble. Alright. And I'm giving you everything I got, okay? As in, that's just what I'm doing. And I will slow down if you want, and I will fucking spend some time, right? But let me get this as an aside too. There's no point to this. The only fucking point that could ever be between a teacher and a student is the one-on-one. This can be inspirational, but it's fucking delusional, okay? It's fucking a problem. All this will do is create this idea in you that I have something you don't, that I understand something you don't, and now you want it. And wanting is the stress. And it's okay, stress is not bad, it's not good, it's just one side of the fucking sine, or what is it called, the sine phase curve, sinus, I don't know what it's called. I'm not smart. Don't call me smart, don't think I'm smart, because it just makes you look stupid. So I was saying, the expansion will come to a halt. And it's because as you're building yourself up, the validation becomes more difficult. Because you're on this path and you're thinking A, you're thinking B, you're thinking C, you're thinking D, you're thinking E, right? It all makes sense because your logic, validation is through logic. That's your supreme structure of safety. If I can make sense of it, then it's true. And sense is sensing, right? It's a feeling. So really what happens is you think things and then the mind says, I reward you with serotonin or endorphins or whatever the fuck they call, right? And it could even be the other way around, that because you feel those, you tell yourself you understand. Do you understand? It's crazy, I know. But feelings and thoughts are the same things, you just think they're different, and it feels different, right? You think and you feel and you think. The one is the input for the other, it creates it, and between it is there's the judger. And the judger decides if it's good or bad, right? If it's valid or invalid. Culture makes it good or bad, you just make it valid or invalid. Program says yes, program says no. If the program says yes, it releases stuff. If the program says no, it releases other stuff. Okay, that's all that's going on. You are a biological apothecary. And because of what you think, it gets decided, or you decide, what gets released. That's all there is. That's all there's to it. And this is how you do it. Alright. Get back to it. You're building yourself up, right? You're telling yourself A, B, C, D, all these things. All of a sudden, you know, when you're at like X and you're thinking, I'm gonna fucking, right? And the fun thing is, I don't even can see this, but it's like a spiral. So if you get to Z, you just get to A, but to your feeling, it's like the next level. Like, I jumped the curve, I'm on the next level. These motherfuckers can't, right? The next level is the new illusion layer where you say, I'm even, like the other guys can't even touch me. Like, I'm next level. That's just one level and you're running around in it the whole fucking time. Right? Because it's just this, it's just a circle. It's one loop. There's one loop. Validate, expand, validate, expand, validate, expand. Until it becomes fuck. invalidate, contract, invalidate, contract. And that's where we're heading now, right? So you're going A, B, C, D, all these things, right? Can you see this? Can you see what I'm drawing? You can actually see what I'm drawing. That's a beautiful thing. It's ugly because it destroys you, but it's beautiful because it creates you. Dualism is the whole thing, okay? The whole thing is dualism. Anyone who talks about enlightenment is full of fucking shit. I'm sorry, it's just what it is. If you're saying you're enlightened, you're confusing yourself in a way of density, it's just mind-blowing. And it makes you feel so smart, but in fact, you're not seeing it at all. You're not. All right, let's get some breathing going here because I need to release some of this tension. All right. You're building yourself up A through Z. You're at X or Y. Where were you? You don't know. You will pick out anything. You were even next level. I was saying you were next level. So you're going through A through Z again, but now it's like the next level because it's like A1 or A2. I don't know. And you're feeling good about yourself, and it's all great, right? You might sleep longer because it takes a lot of energy to do this. And I don't know, but I just noticed that in the past couple of weeks, as my mind was blowing itself, I seemed to sleep only a few hours a night, which I don't know why, but I like to throw it in there, give you something to play with or think about. I don't know, man. You're being done, so it doesn't matter, but you're also doing it, so Jesus, I don't fucking know. All right, A through Z, you're next level. You think you've got this, okay? You think you've got this fucking all the fucking way, and it's never going to end, because that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for the fucking state of bliss, the state of knowing, the state of understanding, right? Deny the pattern, deny the fucking pattern. And the pattern is a state of fluctuation, and the fluctuation is a pattern, right? The state is alive, and the pattern is death. And it just fluctuates between that. I don't know how to explain this. I'm crazy, I'm sorry. Alright. The stupid thing is that people who will see this and say, well, I don't understand, but I think he's right, will call you a genius, and the other people who say, I don't want to have anything to do with this, because it denies me, because they're in the breakdown phase, and the people that are in the genius are, right, because they're not going to use me to build them up, and then the other person who's going to use me to break himself down, or he thinks he's expanding, but really he's heading for a breakdown, he's going to deny me, because this guy's crazy, he's talking fucking total nonsense. Because it's all self-affirming, confirming, right? Logic is, what would I call it? I call it logic is self-confirming, and logic is self-conforming. So either you agree with the logic, or the logic will agree with you. It will do that. But it can't be, because when scientists do things, they write it down and they can check. Yeah, alright, that's fine. They make models from themselves, they have logic, they make a model, then they go affirm what the model predicts. And if the prediction is true, they verify the logic. Do you understand? They're not verifying the model, they're just paying attention real well to what happens, so that when they write it out, the logic gets confirmed. They're not confirming the fucking thing that happens, right? They tell themselves, but they're really confirming themselves, and they confirm themselves by making the logic sound. So they invent math, and then predict things with that math, and if it doesn't work, they tweak the formula. So that when the thing happens, and they predicted it, the logic is valid, and thus they are valid. Not even valid, they can fucking expand, because they thought that formula up. How fucking smart are they? Right? So they're next level. These fucking people have no clue. I see right through nature. I make formulas that fucking, E equals mc square. Now I'm a nice guy because I can be nice, because I'm God-like in my understanding of nature. I was just sitting down dreaming. It just happened to me. Right? And I'm not trying to diss Einstein. He was a cool guy, I'm sure. But not because he was cool, but because he was just like every other awareness, trying to fucking self-validate and self-expand. It's what we do. We can't help it. I'm full of shit, okay? Get it through your head. I'm full of shit. I'm doing this for me. Even though I don't exist, but that's why I'm doing it. Because if I don't exist, but I can tell myself I do, then apparently I do. So, it sounds a little different. Can you tell? This is crazy, I'm sorry. you're going A through Z. You thought of the E equals mc squared, right? Which is just energy is mass times the speed of light, which is energy is, well, no, it was energy is mass times the speed of light squared. So you could say product or output is quantity times quality squared. Or you could say thought is feeling, no, the thinking is feelings times thoughts squared. It's all bullshit, but it's all true. Whatever, I don't know. I should sit down and write it out so I can make myself logic, or make logic myself. I created logic and it created me. I'm losing it. I should hurry up because I won't get to the end. And my family's on the way, and so the universe will let me know when I'm done. I got stuck on the build-up. Hear that? Which is actually the breakdown. Okay, so you thought of MC squared. Forget about Einstein. I'm not judging him. I'm not saying anything. I'm just using it as an example. You built yourself up. You figured out you figured out E equals MC squared. And you're flipping your mind out like I am. And you're thinking you're the greatest thing ever to happen if you don't see through the mechanism that you are. And I do, so I use a lot of fucks and I use a lot of release to make myself ridiculous. Because I can't accept it that I'm not ridiculous. Because I hate myself if I would, right? Because I would find myself to be a fucking con artist. And the worst kind, not the one who's honest in his transaction saying, I'm fooling you, now give me money. No, the one who's fooling himself saying, I'm not fooling you, give me money. Right? That's the sales guy. For the fucking... whatever. I'm not going to go into that. It's all bullshit. A through C, next level, you thought it up. You are the genius of all time. Okay? And you can validate it for yourself. You run through it. Now, this guy, this fucking guy, Niels Bohr, I think his name was, right? He comes along. And he says, Einstein's full of shit. Because he might have this theory that makes sense, but it doesn't explain these little things that are going on here. Right? So really, he's a nice guy and it's pretty smart what he thought up. But I'm smarter. Alright, so he just walks by and says, Jay Einstein, you're full of shit. And he moves on. Right? And he's living in his inside world, and Einstein's living in his inside world, and inside Einstein has created the universe. So he feels pretty good about himself. But the mind doesn't want to feel good about himself, or can only feel good about itself if it comes from feeling bad about itself, because that's a dualism. And you can feel bad for 20 years and then feel good for 20 years, I guess, if you don't burn it up, right? If you're intense like this, it's going to go way faster, because you feel like slowly bad for a long time and then real good for a short time. You expended the energy, because it's always the balance. Because that's the secret. Balancing will end up there. Dualism is balancing. And unbalance is grotesque, is monster creation. Instead of person creation. Because in your side of your head, you can create whatever the fuck you want. And people do. And so universe was created within Einstein. Niels Bohr comes by and kicks the universe. Right? I'm not even saying he's breaking it. But you have to understand that the anticipation of fear is fear itself. And so doubt is the destruction of logic. Do you understand? If you have certainty, there is no doubt. And if there's certainty, there is an expansion, there's a build-up, or so it feels. It's actually the breakdown, because you're going outside of yourself. The moment you go past the question of, do I exist? And you say yes, and you get bored with it, the moment you move on, you're bound to destruction of whatever gets created, because you can't know what's going on. You can't understand what you are. And so anything more than the validation of existence, which is a very debatable thing. Very debatable. We can debate about it for hours. But the fact that you move on guarantees that you will move back. You will contract. You will contract. Until you die. And then you contract for real. So, Niels Bohr walks by, kicks Einstein in the nuts. And Einstein's sitting at home thinking, this Niels Bohr guy is a fucking asshole. That's his first defense, right? He's fucking crazy. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I mean, I see him. He's just a guy. Inside of me, I have the universe inside of me. I just created the universe. Okay, space-time, I created the general theory of relativity, right? And I'm creating the fucking specific theory of relativity, the thing that where you're the reference point. If you are the reference point, and I'm going too fast here, I understand. But I just want to lay it out there for my own aggrandizement that I'm smarter than Einstein. No, I'm dumber than Einstein. Because I asked better questions than Einstein did. I don't know. So Niels Bohr comes by, kicks him in the nuts, and now Einstein's sitting in his chair, wanting to dream up that in fact Niels Bohr is full of shit. Because why could he say something that would even imply that what Einstein thought up was invalid? Why would he even think that up? How could he even think of something that would conclude in Einstein is invalid? That makes no sense to Einstein. Because, dude, I just fucking explained the whole universe. I mean, I was done. Do you understand? I'm done. I explained it. I can sit here and relax because I'm done, and I can tell myself all day, I'm done. I did it. I solved my puzzle. It feels so good. I can relax. If you come to me, I'm not worried because why would I be worried? I figured it out. I'm God. I'm Jesus. I'm whatever. So why would I not be relaxed? Right? So then this Niels guy walks by, says that you're crazy, and now I got a problem. Because I have to reconfirm. But the thing is, I was thinking it up because I got out of the way. And meaning, the more I thought about it, the more I realized I was full of shit. And when I stopped thinking for myself, and I got thought, I was dreaming with my pipe in my mouth, and it's like, what? E equals mc squared. What? That is it. The thought was given to me because I wasn't there. And then I tapped into something, which is me when I'm not there. But now this Niels guy comes by and starts creating tension, excitement. So now I'm wanting to think up the answer, which I can't do because I'm a fucking idiot. We're only capable to the extent we are incapable and acknowledge that. We call that practice. No, you're not right. I'm doing it. You're not correct. I practice all these 10,000 hours rule. Yeah, it was to get the fuck out the way, buddy. Let the body do its thing without you fucking running interference, because that's what this whole thing is. You're a flow, you're the interference in that flow, and you're the fucking pattern that comes out of that. So Niels Bohr kicked Einstein in the nuts. Doubt set in. And he was scrambling madly, maybe not outwardly, but he was certainly doing this on the inside, to revalidate his greatness, because he built himself up to the greatest thing he could ever think of. And now there's something he can't explain. So what does that mean for him? It means he's invalid. And as the podium where he's standing on, which is just air, smoke, I don't know, it's bullshit. And as it starts crumbling, the whole thing starts crumbling inward on itself. Because if one piece falls off, you can grab it and say, well, the podium can be a little smaller, or, I'll fix that later. It's just nothing. But if doubt set in, which is the virus of confidence, it takes over. And it leads to fear, right? Because the podium was the hope, the doubt is the fear. The fear that maybe it's not true, maybe it's not valid. So as that is happening, you start scrambling. You see fucking X fall by, right? You're okay if it's just until X, that's fine too. But then you see the letter G fall by. You're like, what the fuck? How can G fall by? Because that's not the letter that goes before X. What's going on here? And you start realizing, making it real, that there's no logic there actually. It's actually not valid at all. It felt valid when you said it, but now when you're reinterpreting it from the lens of doubt, because there's something you don't know, then it turns out you don't know anything. You will validate your doubt. You will validate your suspicion. The suspicion that you're not large at all. And you start contracting. And as you contract, the validation becomes bigger. Because the easiest thing to validate is I am. And it's not even I am, it's the answering of the question, am I? And it's yes, I think so. I think so. That's the first small thing you can validate. Well, I said I think so, then apparently I think so, apparently I am. Right? Logic. The question, are you? Am I? And the answer, yeah, I'm pretty sure you are. That's the first step. After that, it's all fucking bullshit. And the first one is debatable as fuck, it's bullshit too. Because where do you get the language? And what does it mean? What does it mean? It's a double rainbow. Let's call it a dualistic rainbow. How about that? The rainbow is just perspective on air. It's nothing there. But if you look at it a certain way, it seems to be a rainbow. That's exactly what you are. It's just that you're inside the rainbow. You're a unicorn. Right? You're uniquely general. Or you're generally unique. I don't know. Whatever you think it is, you will get confirmed. So Einstein's platform was crumbling and he was scrambling to get a hold of himself. And I don't know this guy, so I don't know. But this is how it works. And maybe people start researching Einstein and realize he was fucking bullshit, man. Einstein was always relaxed. So doubt set in. There's a guy who knows something I don't, when I told myself I know everything. So now I gotta scramble, and the harder I scramble, the harder it falls. So the breakdown is guaranteed. Now, this is the natural flow, right? This is how it should flow, but people don't allow for that because in our culture, which adds to this thing, which adds another layer, there's a layer of self and there's a layer of culture, which is basically the same thing. The more room there's for self, the less room there's for culture. The more room there's for culture, the less room there's for self, because culture is based on the opposite of what you are, right? Culture would say, being an egoistic asshole is great. Then they wouldn't say it, because they would just accept you as the egoistic asshole that you are, and it wouldn't be a thing. Culture tells you what you're not, and then tells you you should be that, so you can depend on it, and think that there's something outside of you, right? So murder is bad because we don't want murderers. I'm scared of murderers. Which feels right. But when you start saying you shouldn't be arrogant, and your whole fucking loop is built out of either frustration or arrogance, and you're not even supposed to be both, or not show it, because you can't help be it, then you're fucking dissonance all the way. Because whatever you feel, feels true, you can't say it, so there's a lie, and the culture does not agree. I mean, opposition all the way. You see this? This is my confirmation. I'm so fucking smart. Let me throw the fucking thing. This is the release. Laughter is the release of tension through the surprise. It's this point. The moment crying or laughter is the most intense changing of direction. If you're building up and you laugh, you release, because it's all bullshit. Laughter itself is funny because it's the body shaking the organs which are hurtful but releasing the shit that makes it feel good. You're fooling yourself, okay? I'm sorry if that offends you. Don't take it personal, even though it's all personal, but just take it functional. So it's all falling down and you contract. You contract to a point where you can start the validation cycle again. Now, if you were desiring, because that's what this whole thing is desire. If you would desire a sense of peace, then you would do well to have a pattern that is long and calm, right? It's something I called the adult or the enlightened pattern, right? You're still doing the fluctuations, but you see through it, so you release it the moment it becomes a thing. Right? The psychopath is it's probably like this, right? And we're all turning into psychopaths in this world because of all the distance we are creating within ourselves. So there comes a point when there's a breakdown, and you break down until the point where you can revalidate. And unlucky for most, that is not the basic assumption of, well, at least I'm still alive, right? Most people stop somewhere, and they start to rebuild up. And they see this point where they drop to as the new bottom, which is a problem because it's not the true bottom. Do you understand? And that's the game we play. The game of seriousness and fun, and the fluctuation between it. You're a program who interprets to apply to become an application, but it's really a game, because the program is programming itself to be an application. And it's applying itself to be a program. It's programming itself to be an application. It's using the interpreter in itself to make this thing move. So it's a game. You're a game. But you're a game for yourself. You live in the world, but everything is biased as you interpret it. So all the other people are NPCs in your game, and you're an NPC in theirs. If that's even right, I don't even know how it works. I don't know if it's like I can see The Matrix is a very inspirational movie, but I would say everyone is in his own matrix, and the other guys are still in there, right? There's like a shared world, but your matrix is your matrix. Like it makes any sense, like Vanilla Sky. But everyone in Vanilla Sky is also in their own Vanilla Sky. Parallel universes, right? Fucking bullshit. All fucking bullshit. It's nothing and everything and the fucking movement between them. Dualism. Dualism. So that's basically the point I was trying to make. And the insight I had was that, and I'm pretty sure it's going to get real confusing real quick, but the teacher is this as well, right? You see, the teacher isn't the validator, it's the invalidator, but it curates its invalidation. So I can't teach you anything. That's why the one-on-one is the only way to go, but I can ask you something so you can think something up for yourself. And the only way I can make you to think is to make you unvalidate, but it's very uncomfortable, so I gotta take it step by step coming from you. So if you tell me where you are, and I know what it's all about, I can make you move a little bit by asking a question and make you think through something that you then understand and see as real. So I have to build you up and then allow you to break yourself down, or I have to make you build yourself up so you can break yourself down. I got to get to the breakdown. So all the preparation is just to get you to the point where you're safely assuming you can break yourself down, and it could be because I'm very relaxed, and I'm in the state you think you want to get to, and if I'm relaxed, then it's safe to break yourself down because apparently you end up somewhere where it feels nice. So it's you're pretending the breakdown is actually a build-up, right? It gets confusing. The same thing goes with other people. If I'm walking around and I figured this shit out and I'm so happy with myself, I'm smiling because there's not a care in the world. I've figured out the entire everything and nothing. So yeah, I feel pretty good. Now you got to think. The someone who's in the break or in the build-up phase will reflect my happiness on himself and say, "Oh, he's smiling at me. Oh, it's logical. I mean, I'm a nice guy. Of course you smile at me. The universe is allowing people to smile at me because I'm so friendly." Right? If you're in the expansion phase or the breakdown phase, you don't want to identify with me. Why the fuck is he so happy? He doesn't understand what's going on at all. It's very serious. I need to identify myself by contrast. So if I see you smiling, I will look sternly. It's not funny at all, bitch. I'm not a joke. Maybe you're a joke, but I'm serious. Right? The moment you start taking things serious is the moment things are breaking down. It's this expansion. It's the seriousness. The validation is the fun. Do you understand? It's not taking yourself serious at all because, and I know you use validation in the expansion too, but I'm trying to say is that validation will always go back to its starting point of I don't know anything. And that's why stand-up guys make us laugh. It's because they don't believe they believe anything. And then they don't believe you. And there's doubt then, because if they don't believe anything, how come they think they're so funny? So they start taking themselves serious. I gotta make really funny jokes because I'm really good at it. That's confusing. And that's the performance, right? The forced performance. Because if you dance, you're just dancing. You're having a good time. Like, yeah, man, I dance. Oh, look at me, I'm dancing. Oh, right? And then someone walks up to you and says, dude, you can dance really well. You should do it again. Come on, dance. Dance, monkey. And you're like, okay, well, apparently I can do this really well, so how do I do it? I gotta do it again. I gotta do it better. Because now 1,000 people are gonna see me dance, so if I'm dancing, I should move slowly and just whoop, 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 right? I can't be silly. I have to validate, I have to expand. I thought I was just dancing, but apparently I'm God's gift to dancing. So you invest in yourself. And the payoff is the price and the price. Right? With a C and with a Z. You pay and you get. But when you get, you pay. If you get a prize, you will pay a price. And it's always yourself. The prize is yourself and the prize is yourself. What you get is you and what it costs is you. The cost of everything is nothing and the cost of nothing is everything. It's this. It's just this. You're self-masturbating your whole life. Well, you're always self-masturbating. But you're not really masturbating yourself. Well, it's like, you got to take the word yourself and just tear it apart and say it's your self, you have it, but it isn't you. So masturbation could be seen as the body masturbation, but self-masturbation is the conceptual masturbation of the self you have, which doesn't make it masturbation, it makes it fucking. And that's exactly what you do. You're fucking your mind. And the mind's fucking you, and the fucking is what it is. So the other uses you and you use the other for identification, which is the expansion. I'm not like you at all. I'm special. You're just a guy laughing like a crazy person. I'm special because I have these thoughts that allow me to expand myself into beyond anything. Or it's validation. You're laughing at me because I'm so cool. Yeah, I know. I feel cool too, man. Thank you for laughing at me, for smiling. Because if you start laughing at them, then they got a defense. They got to defend. Who the fuck is this crazy person laughing at me? Or you got to validate and say, it's so funny, he's laughing at me, it doesn't even hurt me. Because I'm fucking, I'm confident about myself. I can take this. It's not me. It's like the crazy person showing himself who he is. Why should I feel like a victim of that? He's the victim of himself. I'm the fucking stoic. Because stoicism is fucking bullshit. It's forced allowing. What? The ego is the enemy? That's cultural mindfuckery right there. You are the ego. The ego is the state. No. The ego is the process, the culture is the state. The ego is the enemy of the state, and the culture is an enemy of the process. And now you're going to write a book saying this is good and that is bad? What the fuck are you doing? And that's where the whole fucking problem comes from, right? Because that's what this is supposed to help you with or solve you with. The build-up isn't a problem, and the breakdown isn't a problem either. The problem is you create a problem, right? The problem is if I say something and I'm doing it to feel smart, I have to make you feel dumb. Because only through the reflection of your dumbness can I feel smartness. So I have a problem. I want to feel smart. And I think up shit that gets me excited. Oh, I'm all shiny. Oh, I found something. I found this thing. It's really, really interesting. And now I give it to you. And because of your confusion, I feel like a genius. Because you confirm my smartness. So I can relax and the tension is gone. I was right. You see, he's all confused. And you don't say it to yourself, but that's what happens. That's why books are fucking poison. Because the guy who writes it just wants to sell you up with his problem. And the fucking con of the con is, he's telling himself he has the best intentions, but he's clueless about what's going on. He's not trying to destroy you, he's trying to build himself up, expand. And that's the problem when you live in a world full of children, is that some will tell themselves they're adults and then tell other people how to be adults. Or whatever the fuck you want to call it, awake, asleep, fucking confused, clear, master, apprentice, teacher, student, it doesn't fucking matter. But if people don't understand how it works, what you are, why you are, and how you are, which you can never understand, but if they fucking skip the first level where they acknowledge the fact that everything beyond is bullshit, then you get a situation where you have science. Where people fucking start from a point that's beyond the start of the point. So give me the Big Bang and I will explain everything. But where the universe is suspended, dude, who knows? We got some theories. But I gotta believe the rest. You're saying magic, logic, And because the logic is confusing, because you can zoom in, out, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Now, I gotta accept that from you? Like you know something? And now you create stress because you wrote a book? And now I gotta read it and realize, Jesus Christ, how can someone write a book like this? How can someone make a video where he says stuff like this? How the fuck can that be? I cannot comprehend it. So I've got a problem. Because obviously, you have to be like this person. Because he's saying shit. And he's saying he feels good. I want to feel good. So we have a problem. So you're guaranteed to feel bad. The book you read is the fucking obstacle you're going to have to fucking destroy. Because it's not you. And you cannot accept not you. Because it's not you. So this is it. I mean, this is all that's going on. This is a game. It's a very simple game. And I know I can't explain it well because it's confusing as fuck. Because it's all dimensional. It's all running. Everything. Right? That's why I'm acting crazy. Because it is crazy. But that's why it's so fun. Because if it was clear logic, right? We think we make artificial intelligence and we can achieve the pure logic. Like we can take out all the bad side of the person and make it into a machine that is... The machine will be a grotesque, crazy thing. Because there is no pure logic. Do you understand? It doesn't exist. Logic exists through illogic. You're fucking delusional. And in practice, I would say, we're delusional because we're not using it to fucking make life better. No, we're gonna use it to fucking let the money machine run, right? The medium of money. You see, the secret is, to understanding this, that the medium needs to confirm itself. And it needs to run to do that. And whatever fuel it uses to confirm it, it doesn't matter. You will think whatever. Your ego doesn't care. Do you understand? It's just feeding you bullshit so you will have another thought. And every thought itself confirms its existence. It doesn't matter what you think. It's not the truth. It doesn't matter what you feel. The feeling itself confirms the machine. And you're trying to pretend like it means something. You like to pretend like capitalism is actually for the division of resources and the blah, 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 blah. And those that work hard get rewarded and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's all fucking bullshit. The moment you create Skynet creates you, and it's the same thing. You externalize yourself into something you call logic. But it's just a vehicle for your own build-up and breakdown. It's just a vehicle for your own aggrandizement. It doesn't exist at all. Outside of you, it doesn't. You've created, it's your child. You see, this is frustration. Frustration and arrogance, those are the two emotions. Fear and hope. Where hope is the frustration and arrogance is the fear. What? Hope and fear. Let's just write it out so you know it. Hope. Fear. Right? People like to say fear is the only origin, right? Because you don't want to die, but it's not true. And you can put hope, fear, or fear, hope. It doesn't matter. Just what side are you coming from? Right? You can come from both sides. It doesn't matter. Fear is the validation. It's the frustration. Why? You think you understand something, you're trying to explain it, but someone else doesn't understand. Now you are afraid maybe you're not right. And if you're not right, you're invalid. And if you're invalid, then what the fuck are you? Right? Hope is to believe, because it's all believe, that you can be more. That's the arrogance. Okay? If only I could be more. And then you become arrogant saying, hope to be more. I am more. Don't you see how rich my world is? Don't you see how pathetic these guys are over there? Of course I'm more. And then the thing starts. The frustration causes the breakdown of the arrogance. I am more. How can he not see I am more? How come I have $1 billion? I make $1 billion a month. And this woman won't open up her legs? What the fuck is wrong with her? Right? Because I'm bored with everything. I believe in myself. I build myself up to being God on earth. I have everything. There's only boredom. So what can I do? I can play with people. I can make people have sex that don't want to have sex. That's pretty interesting, right? But it's also the thing that will destroy you. Because the moment this woman says no, it doesn't make sense. What do you mean no? You're saying invalid? Is your reply invalid? Bitch, didn't you hear what I was saying? I make $1 billion a month. I have 100,000 employees that will suck my cock on demand. It's no problem. They will come down, they will suck it, they will drink it, they will love it. They will thank me for it. And you're saying no? I think you're confused. That's my first defense. It's you. It's not me. You're completely confused. So I will continue. I will just ignore this no. We both know it's not correct. It's not the correct answer. So I will grab you by the pussy, right? Or whatever tactics get employed. It's aggrandizement. It's people that do that are insanely, grotesquely, monsterly confused about what's going on. They believe the bullshit, right? These are the people that believe the fantasy is real. Instead of that the reality is fantasy, which is a way healthier way to approach it, but it doesn't fucking matter, because it doesn't fucking matter at all. Anything, nothing matters. Something matters to you, but that's just a choice, it's a moral. I am a vegetarian, right? I cannot eat animals. Do you know the impact I will have if I eat animals? I am so important. If I start eating animals, man, they will all hurt and die. Because I'm God and my choices decide everything. It's identity, right? I look through the world to the identity of what I eat. That makes me who I am. And I can now judge you because your identity sucks. Haha, I feel great. But do you understand it's the start of the breakdown? The thing you hold for it to be true is the end of you. Because it's not true. And what you need to get to, where the end point of this thing seems to be, and forgive me if I come back at you, because I was thinking actually just to call it the state of my insights, or some shit, I don't fucking know. But the thing is, it's blowing my mind. I don't know what the fuck's going on, so forgive me. But I would say the point is to not chase this. To build up release as much you can. And the release is the breakdown, is the arrogance, and then the frustration. So be arrogant, be frustrated. Be arrogant, be frustrated. And don't judge the fucking emotion as to be, I don't want to be arrogant. It's not in that way. Arrogance is dualistic. Frustration is dualistic. Do you understand? Arrogance has both hope and fear within it. Right? Arrogance is hope, fear. Frustration is fear, hope. They're all fear and hope. They're going to end up at the same point. And then they're going to diverge and be the other one. Right? It's not, it's just, it's feeling. Do you understand what I'm saying? The feeling is friction. And it's difficult to explain it in words that don't have that much meaning through culture that you can accept it. Maybe I should find words like love and shit, because that's what people always like, right? Alright, balance is the key. The build-up will be the energy that dissipates in the breakdown. And the more you build yourself up, the harder time you will have in the breakdown. So the sooner and the easier you do this, the relaxed it will be. Now, does that mean that's good? No. It just means that it will be more relaxed. Is relaxed the point? No. You can be intense. That's fine too. It doesn't matter what you do with it. It's a game. You can play it whatever way you want. It's not anything. It's just a loop. There's no... Do you understand the absurdity of this whole thing? There's no right and wrong outcome of anything. Well, the outcome is you're going to die and you're probably going to reset and the thing's going to start again. So yes, this is a simulation 100%. You are the simulation. You're not living inside of one, you are it. And then that's what you're living inside. And there's no way to prove it, but there's no way to disprove it either, so it doesn't fucking matter. Alright, I think I said what I wanted to do. I'll come back because this opens up a whole fucking... I can talk about anything that involves self, other, teacher, student, mastery, performance. I don't know. But I thank you. I thank me. I don't know how this happened. But it's cool. And it's hot. It gets me very excited. So I need to release that. So I'm gonna go out there and release. Mental masturbation, man, that's all this fucking is. Yeah, alright. See you next time.